Hi, everyone. My name is Meredith, and I would like to welcome you to the Keep It Pro training call brought to you by Networking Wisdom each and every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific for the past 6.5 years. The purpose of this call is not only to teach you specific business skills, but most importantly, to teach you life skills that are essential to getting you to the next level in both business and your personal life. I have the honor and privilege to introduce the creator and host of this call, Mr. Romacio Fulcher. Romacio is an extremely successful international entrepreneur, as well as a sought-after leader, trainer, coach, and mentor. Romacio not only teaches others, but he himself applies what he teaches through his intense focus and dedication, which has allowed him to achieve unprecedented success. In the 6 years I've known Romacio, I've seen him build a team of over 750,000 people. I've seen him break records in network marketing, become one of the world's top MLM income earners, and help thousands of people all over the world make life-changing income. Over the last several years, Romacio has made it his number one focus to grow his faith and his relationship with God. His dedication and faith are so strong that I've seen him go through incredibly tough times, yet he can bounce back emotionally within minutes. I've seen miracles occur right in front of us because of his strong, growing faith. He has been an incredible example for me as to how faith can change your life. Having said that, Romacio puts 100% of himself into these calls to share everything he has learned in the hopes that his listeners can benefit from his words. Each of these calls are fully intentional. Romacio's number one goal is for it to be a blessing to other people because he truly believes what you make happen for others, God will make happen for you. He is here on this call today to serve you, to teach you, to enlighten you. Without further ado, let me get out of the way and introduce your millionaire mentor, marketplace minister, Mr. Romacio Fulcher. Romacio, are you there?
Absolutely, I am here. Thank you so kindly for the warm, infectious introduction. Much love to you, Mayor. Listen, I want to welcome each and every single one of you back to another edition, baby. Can you say, and another one? Say it one more time. And another one? That's right, baby. 6 years and running. This is where we have been. 4 o'clock Sundays. Same time. Hold it. Wait a minute. Same line. That's right, baby. We are right here. Man, I love being here. I love the stories. I love the impact that is happening to different individuals, some small, some medium, and some big. But I truly, truly do, guys, I really do love what's happening to people as a result of just this little old call. Can you believe it? Just a phone call. Somebody said, you know what? That perspective that I learned, that specific way of doing it that I learned from this call has made all the difference in the world. You see, today's topic, guys, is called the development process. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Grab that piece of paper. Grab that pen. Write that down. The development process. The development process. If today is your very first call or very first time joining us, guys, as I said, we've been here for 6 years, and the purpose of this specific platform is we talk about wisdom. And what we teach every single Sunday, guys, we do it for free. That's right. Free 99. That's what we do. We teach you 2 specific things. Number one, we will teach you the specific skills that you need to get yourself to the top of whatever business it is that you are promoting. That's right. We teach you the specific skills. But in addition to teaching you the specific skills that we need, we also teach you life skills as well. The reason why we do that is we know on your journey as you're an entrepreneur, it's going to take specific skills for you to get to the top of where you're trying to go. But you're also going to have to increase your life skills as well. Come on, man. This train is going somewhere today, baby. Yes, it is. All aboard, because we're going somewhere today, baby. You're going to need both specific skills and you're going to need life skills to get you to where you're trying to go. In fact, as we're talking about life skills today, guys, you just heard me mention to you the theme of today's call, which is, once again, write this down, the development process. The development process. We're going to talk about what it means to really develop within the process of what it is that you're trying to learn. Now, guys, even though we do this call for free every single Sunday, there's only one request that I have for each of you that are listening, guys. Can you believe it? There's only one thing we ask in return. You ready for it? Here it is. We firmly believe that what we make happen for others, God is going to make it happen for us. And we ask all of you that are listening, we ask you to subscribe to this philosophy. Listen, if you haven't learned by now what it's going to take for you to get to the top, you don't have to keep scratching your head. You don't have to keep wishing and wondering. What you have to do, baby, is you just have to learn that getting to the top requires you giving. That's right. What you make happen for others, God is going to make it happen for you. One more time. What you make happen for others, God will make it happen for you. And so we ask you to subscribe to that philosophy, guys, going forward on whatever it is that you're doing. Now, back to our regularly scheduled program. As I just said, this call, guys, has made a tremendous difference in not just my life, but it's also made a huge difference in the lives of many other people. I know that this may be your first time, or maybe you're here all the time. I don't know. But I want to share with you the significance of just me being obedient to what it is that I'm called to do. And I want to share with you the impact of my obedience. Let me say that again. I'm going to share today the obedience, what it means to be obedient, right? And I'm going to share with you the impact of your obedience. And I'm going to do all this today while teaching you about two of my favorite words, the first word being the word development, and the second word being process. Stay with me. Like I said, all aboard. This train is going somewhere today. So don't get lost. Makes you hang on. All right? Now, it was 6 years ago that I remember searching and looking for what was it? What was one of the things that was unique about me? I remember being on my hands and knees, and I wanted clarity about myself. I wanted to understand what my purpose was. I wanted to really understand what is it that I'm supposed to do. Have you ever wondered what it is that your purpose is? Have you ever asked what it is that you're supposed to do? Have you ever wondered why it wasn't you that was the one that got shot and killed? Why it wasn't you that fell off the building? Why it wasn't you that got into the car accident and died? Have you ever just took a second to ask, how come you weren't the one that was on the news channel where somebody broke into your house, literally raped and killed you? Have you ever, just for a second, began to ask, man, I'm so blessed. I'm still standing. I'm still here. What is it am I supposed to do? Well, that was 6 years ago. And I remember small, still voice telling me, I want you to do a call on Sundays, and I want the theme of the call to be networking wisdom. Because wisdom is something that ever since I was a little boy was something that I was always interested in. For those of you that don't know what wisdom is difference. For those of you that don't know, well, I want to be wise. What is wisdom? I want more wisdom. Wisdom is basically difference, understanding what difference is. What's different about a moment? What's different about a person? What's different about a thing? When somebody says, I want more wisdom. Wisdom is understanding the word difference. And so I remember a small voice telling me to do this call as a way of giving people like yourselves a point of view that would help their perspective about many different topics as it relates to skills necessary for building a business. I remember 6 years ago, I want you to do this call, Romacio, and I want you to specifically teach people exactly what they need to do to be able to get better and better and better at sharpening their skills. And I remember back then, when I was told to do this call, I really wasn't something that was very sexy. It wasn't something that, I was going to do to become more famous. I just wanted to be effective. And I didn't really know how many people this call would help. I didn't know, that people both domestically and internationally would become fond of this call and would listen. And I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know if the dial-in number, would necessarily work for everyone based upon who their phone carrier is. And believe it or not, I didn't know what the syllabus or what the theme of every single call would be on Sundays. I didn't know all that stuff. All I knew is I was extremely blessed based upon how much access I have to very successful people and how my life has changed in a big way because of more wisdom. And I just knew that there was a burning desire in my heart to make these principles and philosophies available to people that were there wishing if they could have someone give them some advice, give them a different point of view, and do it for free. I remember being told, don't charge people. Be authentic. Always be real and always tell the truth. And just be myself. Now, again, that's the first part of the story, guys. I was told to be obedient and just do it. And I did. And I got to tell you, that throughout the 6 years plus of doing this call, there are some calls that we've had literally thousands of people on. That's right. Sometimes there's thousands of people listening to this call. And sometimes, believe it or not, we've had just maybe 1 or 2 people on. Again, I've never cared how many people are listening because I wasn't called to do this to be famous, to get more followers. I was only called and chosen to do this to simply be effective. And I also understood that just because you have thousands of people listening to your call doesn't necessarily mean all 1,000 of them are going to be affected by that particular topic or that particular call. As a point of wisdom, I want you to write this down, ladies and gentlemen. I've always said this for the last 6 years. The reason why we don't concentrate on how many people are listening, it's real simple. We firmly believe that you can physically see you can physically see the seeds that are inside of one apple. Let me say that again. You can physically see the seeds that are inside of one apple, but you cannot see the apples that are inside a seed. And so that simply means you don't know the power of just one person listening, absorbing, and applying the information from this call. You can never underestimate the power of just one person or one seed. And because I understood that point of view and that perspective, that's why this call has truly helped me, but it's also helped a lot of other people. I really appreciate the thank yous, the text messages, the social media messages at random times when people come forward and just let me know the difference that this call has helped them in their life. And the reason why that's so powerful when they come back to let me know how this call has affected them, because I remember 6 years ago questioning, should I or should I not do this specific call? I remember on the journey of me developing, is anybody really getting what I'm talking about out there? How do I know that I'm just not really here talking to myself? How do I gauge if this call is truly effective in the lives of people out there? And so I really appreciate the feedback. I appreciate all the many hundreds of people have said, please don't stop doing this call. This call has helped change my life. This call has helped me at times when I was down. This call has gotten me through some of the rough patches. This call has taught me to never, ever quit. This call has given me specific ways to do a thing, to think a thing that has really, truly helped me. Please don't stop doing this call. So what I want to say to you is, guys, the first part about the first word that we're going to talk about is the word development. When we think of the word development, the development, I want you to just write that word down, development. Anytime something is being developed, let's take a piece of property. When the developer says, I'm getting ready to develop this piece of land, the developer says, I'm getting ready to erect a piece of real estate, be it residential or commercial. The developer, first of all, he begins with the end in mind. He bought the dirt, and the developer says, I'm going to put one single family residence on this plot of land. And he says to himself, I imagine that by the time I'm done with this plot of land, this is going to be a 4,000 square feet, 2-story home on half an acre. Okay? So if you're writing this down and we're talking about development, I want to ask you to first start with your imagination. What is it that you are trying to develop? We talked about 2022 is the year of the miraculous. That's what we told you. Baby, those of you that just jumped on the call, man, aren't you so happy that you're here? You just jumped right into the center of miraculous miracles taking place here in 2022. That includes you. So I want to ask you again, what is it that you want to develop? All right? Some of you listening to me are terrible speakers today. Oh, you're just not good at explaining yourself or expressing yourself. Some of you that are listening, you're terrible with your skill set of for example, maybe you're terrible at talking with people and recruiting. Maybe you're terrible at reading. Maybe you're terrible at organization. Maybe you're terrible at presenting. Maybe you're just terrible at whatever it is that you're doing right now. But I said step one to the word development, step one is using your imagination. I'm reminded as a little kid, I used to always think that my imagination is the blueprint of what is to come in my life. Let me say that again. My imagination is the blueprint of what is to come in my life. Now, why should you write that down? Because, see, your imagination does not know fact from fiction. Your imagination has no ceiling to it. I love the fact that God gave us something he didn't give the elephant. He didn't give the animals. He gave us a brain. Inside of it was an imagination. He said, just imagine. Boom! Just imagine. I told you this train is going somewhere, baby. Just imagine what it could be. Just imagine what the relationships could look like for you. Just imagine what the favor on your life could be for you. Just imagine you may be horrible at it right now, but by the time you're done with the development process, you're going to come out of there better than James Bond, 007. Just imagine all the different philanthropic efforts that you will do and the people that you will help. Just imagine at the day when you finally cross over at your funeral, people are going to come forward that you didn't even know, but they knew you. And they say, man, had it not been for her, had it not been for him, oh my goodness, can't nobody do it like her. Just imagine. Step number 1 in the development process is use your imagination. It doesn't cost you anything to use your imagination about how big it's going to be, how amazing it's going to look and feel, how the turnaround of your health, the turnaround of your child that's gone wayward, the turnaround on your relationship, it's going to be amazing to see what the second half of your book is going to look like. It doesn't cost you anything to use your imagination, just like the developer developing a piece of land. But ladies and gentlemen, it costs you everything not to use your imagination. Step number 1 in understanding the development process is use your imagination first. And begin with the end in mind. Let's go back to the word development. So when I first got started with this call, I used my imagination. I wanted to be effective. That's all I wanted. If I could just reach one person who could really begin to understand the philosophies, the perspectives, the way of doing things, if I could just affect one person, that was very significant for me, because one person is all it takes to start a barn fire. That's all you need is one person. So I use my imagination. The second part of the word development process, the second part is that when you're developing, that means there's going to be some ups and downs. Write that down. Number 2, under the word development, ups and downs. Ups and downs. That's right. When something is developing, it's under construction. And when things are under construction, things are constantly being modified or changed because it's under development. That's why for those of you that are building different businesses out there, or sales teams or marketing teams, or those of you that are dealing with people, do you know the toughest thing, or let me share with you, when you're trying to build an army, like today, I have an army of 750,000 people a part of my company. Today, that's what it is that I have. As a matter of fact, one of my big leaders, she just left me a message about an hour ago. She's in another country, doing quite well, and it was good to hear her voice. Just that one leader alone, she has over 1 million people underneath her. Just that one alone. She's a woman. Okay? Let me share this with you. One of the things that takes the longest when building an army of people, I don't care what your product or service is that you may be selling or promoting, if you care about lifestyle, if you care about freedom, you're going to need to encompass the efforts of other people. And can you imagine in your development process that in the beginning, there you are thinking, man, if I could just get 4 or 5 people to help me sell this thing, oh man, we could do X amount of sales and and I could have more free time to do what I really want to do. This would be incredible, right? There you are, using your imagination like you're supposed to, right? But what did I tell you number 2 under the word development is? The second thing. I told you things are under construction, so there's an up and down process. Well, I'm going to tell you right now what takes the longest to develop. It's people. People developing a person, a male or a female, it's the longest part of developing a leader. Let me tell you why. The reason why is because just because you understand the concept, just because you understand how to do the thing, just because you understood the instruction crystal clear and you want it so bad and you don't need to be managed and you don't need people to keep firing you up, and you're the type of person that when you say you're going to go, you actually go and you do the thing. That's you, but not everybody is at your level of development. Let me say that again. What takes the longest is developing people. Hello, is anybody listening today? What takes the longest is developing people, because not all people are the same. Everybody is at a different level in their growth and in their development. So it may take them a while to finally understand what it was you was talking about way back when. So number 2, in the development process, there's going to be some ups and downs. People take the longest to develop. I know it's natural to get frustrated when people don't understand what you want them to understand and they don't do what it is that you want them to do. I know it's only natural to be frustrated. I know. But I want to ask you a question. Imagine how patient God has had to be with you. There you are, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, and you still messing it up. You still getting it wrong. You still making mistakes. You still don't understand. I want you to imagine how patient God has had to be with you. This will give you a better perspective on developing leaders. And so what you have to learn to do if you are developing people, listen to me well, here it goes. Here goes the answer. You ready? You've got to learn how to make the resources available for the people that you're trying to develop without you necessarily having to give your physical time to them all the time. For example, not trying to brag, I've had thousands of people ask me to mentor them. I'm sorry, I cannot mentor thousands of people. It is physically impossible. But do you know what I can do? We've been doing this call for 6.5 years. Every call is uploaded on the YouTube channel. Man, I can make that resource available to you for free, and you can listen to every single call thousands of times if you want to. It'll feel like I was there with you every time you listen to the call. Again, I had to learn how to be patient. And the way I did that while being effective was let me make the resources available to people so that they can grow, learn, and develop at their own pace. Okay? If you want to listen to one call of mine once a year, that's your prerogative. No problem. If you want to listen to 4 calls once a quarter, no problem. That's your prerogative. In other words, you get to grow and develop at your own pace, and it doesn't affect me. See, now I don't have to be frustrated that he or she is not getting it, learning it as fast as I would have liked them to. Because, see, you have to understand a person's growth and development and the speed thereof it is none of your business. Hello, is anybody listening? I think that was a part right there where you should underline that, circle it with the lipstick, whatever you're writing with, because that was a huge point. I said the speed and the development at which a person develops is none of your business. You have absolutely zero control over how fast they will get the point you want them to get. You have zero control. So allowing them to frustrate you is not smart. Again, remember how patient God has had to be with you. So a way that you can do that is make the resources available. In other words, make the information. Whatever it is you want them to understand. You know, sometimes I've sent people, seriously, I'm dead serious, guys. I'm just giving you some tips here. Sometimes, you know, I won't say the person's name, but I remember recently a gentleman said, how come you keep leaving me these audio voice recorded messages, Romacio? Like, I literally would go to my phone, I would record a message, right, and I would send it to him. I'm not talking about a message on my iPhone. You know how if you have an iPhone, you can push the button and record a message, and then you send it to the person you want it to go to, and the moment they listen to it, it automatically deletes. No, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about I would literally go on my phone to the voice recorder section, and I would record a message, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it was, and I would send it to the person for them to have and re-listen to it as much as they want. In other words, I made my point of view, my feelings, what I had to say, I made it available to this gentleman. And he said, why do you send me these voice recorded messages? And I thought to myself, you know, the reason why I send you a voice recorded message, because you can't interrupt me. I don't have to worry about raising my voice. I don't have to worry about if you gave me the floor so I could finish saying what it is that I had to say. I don't have to worry about that. It's one directional way of communicating. I talk, you listen. I don't have to worry about being interrupted. I already understood what he had to say. But every time I wanted to say something, he kept interrupting me. So I tell you what, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a personalized voice recorded message. And at that point, he could listen to it as much as he wants. And now it's not on me to get frustrated if he does what I'm asking him to do or he doesn't do it, because I cannot control the speed at which a person develops. But what I can control, I can make my resources, in other words, what I had to say, I can make that available to him in a manner through a voice recorded message that'll last him forever. And he could always go back to what I said, how I said, and re-listen to it over and over again, just like you re-listening to your favorite song. So again, we're talking about number 2 on the word development. There's going to be some ups and downs. I'm letting you know that you cannot control the speed of which people will develop. Now, why am I carefully walking through this? Because someone is listening to me today, and they themselves, as well as maybe a team of people that they're trying to develop. And I want to bring to you today some wisdom, some perspective on what to expect while developing yourself and other people. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, underneath the word development. Number 3, take it easy. Number 3, write that down. Take it easy on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself and others. Number 3, Take it easy, baby. Hey, you know, a mentor of mine, I love when he says this. Every time when you leave his house, this is one of my spiritual mentors. He says, hey, listen, man, it was so good seeing you. And he says, I want you to take it easy out there. And then he says, and if it ain't easy, don't take it. I love when he says that. He says, take it easy out there. And if it ain't easy, don't take it. So it's just a figure of speech. But my point is, perfectly timed, take it easy on yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop being so hard on other people because they didn't get what you wanted them to get. He ain't doing what you know he should be doing. She ain't doing what you know she should be doing. How come he's still doing that? How come she's still doing that? And oh my God, I'm so frustrated and I'm so pissed off. My blood pressure is boiling and I'm just angry. I'm upset. Why are you so upset, Frank? You upset because they're not going as fast as you want them to go. They're not doing it the way you feel they should be doing it. Number 3, take it easy on yourself. Anytime something is being developed, ladies and gentlemen, I just got back from Miami just a couple days ago looking at a piece of property, a condominium. Very excited about it, and it's absolutely breathtaking. Can you say the word breathtaking? It's breathtaking. It's right there on the ocean. It's in Sunny Isles. It's made by Bentley. You know, I love Bentleys. You know, I've had a couple of Bentleys in my day, and I love just the look and feel and the ambiance of a nice brand new Bentley, right? And well, Bentley for the first time has come forward, and they're now developing condominiums in Miami, 216 to be exact. Oh, this is cold-blooded. And I said, ma'am, you know, there I am. I've got an appointment. They're doing a private tour. They're explaining everything about it to me. You know, they have one demo that's live for you to see. And they say, hey, Mr. Fulcher, we're so glad that you like, you know, this development and, you know, you want to be a part of this, Mr. Fulcher. And we're glad to accept your money and all that good stuff. But this project won't be finished until 2026. It's going to take us 4 long years to develop 216 units with such pristine lines and such the way they're doing it, never been done before. Just beautiful. Everything that they showed me in the demonstration had my mouth literally on the floor. But it's going to take 4 years before I physically can walk in to my own unit. What's my point? Developing people takes time. It takes time. That's why I want you to take it easy on yourself. Take it easy. I know you want it quickly. Me too. But it's going to take some time to get the fine wine, right? It's going to take some time. And you don't get to control the speed of how quickly a person will understand your vision. Ooh, that's so good. Come on, man. Romacio, you should write that down yourself. I said you don't get to control the speed at which a person will finally understand your vision. That means when you are a leader, even though you know that what you're saying is in the best interest of that person, even though you know that your vision, your perspective, your way of thought about that matter is spot on the money, even though you know that you're right, you cannot control how fast someone else is going to come to the same level of understanding as you. Number 3, take it easy. Take it easy on yourself. There's nothing wrong with them, and there's nothing wrong with you. Y'all just not aligned yet on that particular matter. Y'all are not aligned, that's ALIGNED, aligned on that particular matter yet. Y'all not there on that topic yet. That's why you're so frustrated. Take it easy. And as my mentor says, if it ain't easy, don't take it. We're talking about development, guys. We're talking about development. That's number 3 underneath the word development. I'm trying to paint a clear picture of what it means to develop something, right? And the reason I'm trying to do this is because I know that people are listening to me today and that you are in and going through your own development process. And I want to give you some perspective so you don't keep beating yourself up about why you are not there yet. Number 4, and the final thing, we're going to keep it simple for the word development. The fourth thing I want to give you as you're developing. Don't ask yourself dumb questions. Woo! It's profound. There it is. Don't ask yourself dumb questions. If you ask yourself, the quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality questions that you ask yourself. Guys, if you ask yourself a dumb question, believe it or not, you're going to get a dumb answer. You're asking your brain to go search for a dumb answer to a dumb question, and your brain is going to follow the command or the question that you just asked it. Now you say, well, what's a dumb question? If you continue to ask yourself the question, what is it that I'm doing wrong? That question presupposes that everything that you do is just wrong. That means you never get it right because you keep asking the same old question of what am I doing wrong? Well, wait a minute. Who said that you were doing anything wrong to begin with? Where did you get that from? Who said that this just isn't a part of the development process? There isn't anything wrong that you're doing. So I believe that when you ask the question to yourself, what am I doing wrong? How come I'm not there yet? What am I doing wrong? Why is it not happening for me? What am I doing wrong? 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 See, you see what happens here? It just means now your mind is constantly focused on what? Oh, I must be doing something wrong, so let me go find something wrong that I'm doing. Listen, stop doing that. That's a dumb question. Let me give you a better alternative question. What can I do better? Is there anything that I can do better? Is there anything that I can do better? Is there anything that I can do better? How can I get better? Is there anything that I can actually do better? How can I get better? See, these are smarter questions. Oh, okay, says your brain. Oh, okay, well, since you're looking to get better, well, there's always a way to get better. We can do a little bit of this. You can do perhaps some of that. Okay, that's a good idea, Romacio. Thank you very much for asking me that. Well, you're welcome. You see the difference? Number 4, stop asking dumb questions to yourself. Ask smart questions. You're a smart person. You see that? That one little shift right there is going to help somebody tremendously. It makes all the difference in the world. It makes all the difference in the world. That's why I said number 3, take it easy. And number 4, stop asking dumb questions. Okay? All right, so we're talking about the word development. And I believe I've now done a wonderful job of expressing to you, now giving you a deeper, better perspective of what it means for something to be under development. Now, I want to go to the second word, which the second word is also my favorite word, the word process. Woo, man, this word right here, write it down. Process, process. Woo. That's right. It's a development, what? Process. Say it again. Somebody slow. Say it slow with me. It's a development process. That means it's under process. Man, this word right here is so rich to me because everything has to go through. Write this down. Write this down. Write this down. This is going to help you. with that feeling of anxiety, that feeling of frustration, that feeling that you have. Chop, chop, hurry up, let's go, right? This is going to help you with all that. Write this down. Here it is. Everything has to go through the process of time. Woo, my goodness. Woo. Just say that. Everything has to go through the process of time. Do you understand that, you go to sleep at night, and for most of you, you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is go to the restroom when you wake up? Because it's now time, says your bladder, to release. It had to go through the process of time before something was going to come out. You understand that there, a seed was planted into her, and boom, that seed begins to germinate and cultivate, and it goes through 9 to 10 months, and then comes forward that brand new, beautiful baby boy or baby girl. But it had to go through the process of time. Do you understand that once upon a time, he or she was a little baby, and then they became a young man or a young woman, and then they became an adolescent, then they became a young adult, then they became a middle-aged man or woman, then they became an elderly. Everything has to go through the process of time. Do you remember the very first time y'all first got together and y'all was in the honeymoon stages and everybody was a twinkle in her eye and a twinkle in his eye and literally you got excited just to see her or him, and your excitement just put the little dimple in your cheek. And then now all of a sudden, you guys, you got dentures, so the dimple doesn't show up the same. But now that you've been together for 30, 40, 50 years, you still get excited, but it's just different because you've gone through the process of time. You know what it's like when you're hungry, right? And you get home and your mother and your father or whoever's cooking for you says, hey, go wash your hands. Prepare for supper. We're getting ready to eat in about 20 minutes. Get ready to eat. And you say, well, wait a minute. I'm hungry right now. And the kitchen replies, it ain't ready yet. It's still going through the process of time. I want to reveal to all of you that your development is going through a process. A process. This is why don't beat yourself up. This is why your goal in life should not be to be perfect. And I know for you OCD people, that's so hard for you to process. For you OCD people out there, it's so hard for you to understand not to be perfect. Because you can always better your best. In my opinion, your goal should be to make progress. Your goal should be to just keep on getting better with time. Like fine wine. I'm better with time, right? Just keep on getting better. I just want to get 1%, as the song says, just a little bit better. If I can just get 1% better today, I'm 1% closer towards where I want to be. It's understanding that everything goes through a process. The Bible talks about ye or you will have it in the fullness of time. The Bible talks about that I, the Lord, he knows when the right time is, and I will make it happen, says the Bible, at that time. So what we're talking about here is this eclectic word called process. This hard to understand, this frustrating word called process. And how do I understand where I am in my own process? And this is why I want to keep saying something. I said, stop beating yourself up. You know, do you understand my number one prayer to God is I'm always asking for God to give me greater wisdom and understanding of where I am in my process. Because if it was me left to judge me, I get frustrated with me pretty easily, right? And because I'm the young man that's very passionate, very energetic. I want to conquer everything like yesterday. And let's go. That's why they call me Mr. ASAP, right? And I personally sometimes have a tendency to get frustrated with myself. Many of you may not know that, but it's a thing that I do internally. And I do it, and when I do it, I make bad decisions. Like I go to McDonald's and I do stuff I shouldn't be doing and eat types of foods I shouldn't be eating or overindulge in things. I'm frustrated. And I know it's a poor philosophy. You're frustrated and you take it out on yourself. I know. It's horrible. Pray for me. It's not good. It's not good. It's not. I'm working on it. And so I then go counsel with God in prayer, and I say, Lord, give me wisdom and understanding of where am I at in my process. And do you know what he says to me? Stop beating yourself up. Stop beating yourself up. You're so much better than you even know. You're so much closer than you even know. Why? I want you to understand that. This is a very profound point that we're making today, and I'm glad that I'm vulnerable enough to teach and tell all of you that are listening. Because, see, you get frustrated because you're not where you want to be. But because you're not God and you don't have the vantage point that God has, you really don't understand how close you really are. You really don't understand how the fact that you've gone through all of that, as the little boy says, it's downhill from now. It's downhill from here. See, you don't have that viewpoint. You're just frustrated because of the viewpoint that you have. That's why I'm always saying, God, please give me a bigger or greater revelation of where I really am. Because if you leave it up to me, I might be too hard on me. I might make it feel like it's doom and gloom for me. And although I do agree that it is smart to have a healthy dose of fear, I said healthy, but it's horrible to have a bad dose of fear. And so I go before God and I say, hey, help me understand where I am in the process. Would you send one of your angels to confirm in my spirit where I am so I can stop beating me up about how bad it is and why it's taken so long and why I might have missed the train and am I running out of time and I'm 44 and I should be here and this should have happened by now and that should have happened by now and oh my goodness, what am I, blah, 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 and all this stuff that I begin to imagine negatively in my own mind. And it's all because of this word process. Where am I in the process of time on this particular matter? Many of you ask yourself the same question. And I'm letting you know 2 words, the development process. Everything is going through a process. Now, when we talk about food or we talk about, for example, chicken or fish, we now can quantify how long it's going to take to cook the chicken that was once frozen or to cook the fish that was once frozen. You say, well, how can we quantify that? Because people have done it before. We can find instructions on how long that should take. So we now know what expectations we should have upon waiting for my chicken to be ready. But when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to your promotion in business, when it comes to your healing in health, when it comes to your miracle in 2022, and we begin to apply the same philosophy, how long should it take? This is where God and his awesomeness, only God knows that. But here's what I can tell you, because I'm getting ready to end the call here in just a minute. Here's what I can tell you. For those of us that have chosen to have a relationship with God, which I hope is everyone listening to me, that is my number one prayer, I hope that you will come to learn that we all live in this messed up world. That's right. We live in this messed up world. This world that we live in is good and evil. Yes, it is. That's a fact. And I used to question God, man, hey, God, why you make the world like this, man? What's your problem? What's wrong with you? Was you mad? What's up? And I remember going to the book of James, and I remember in Scripture, it said, I, the Lord, create good and evil. Wait, whoa. Run that by me again. Whoa, Doc. Run that by me again. Say that again. It says in the book of James, it says, I, the Lord, create good and evil. You mean you knew this type of situation was going to go down? Oh, yeah. I knew. But I also knew, then I said, Lord, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to this? What's the answer to this? The devil uses fear to promote his agenda, while God needs faith to accomplish his agenda. Now you say, God, you need faith. What you mean by that, God? You need faith. I keep hearing that. Faith. So God, how do I display faith? Here's the answer. I'm going to say it slowly. I know I'm being comical, having fun, right? But I want you to take this very serious. How do I, that means you, whoever's listening, both live and to the replay, you that's listening domestically and internationally, I'm talking, yes, to you. The one that just questioned who I'm talking to you. That's exactly who I'm talking to. How do you display faith is the question that I just asked. And the answer is, to display faith, it's a two-part answer. Number one, you have to speak faith. Number one, to display faith, I must speak faith. What does that mean? It means there I am in a big fight that I'm going through, whatever it is that you're fighting. Everybody got to fight. Everybody listening got some type of fight you in right now. Everybody. I have to open. That's right. I know you're quiet. I know you're introverted. I'm talking to you. Yes, you, girl. Yes, you. I'm talking to you, man. You got to open your mouth. But wait, can I talk in my head? No, you can do that, but no, you got to open your mouth. You got to speak into the atmosphere. Faith is number one. What do you mean, Mas? Let me give you some scriptures. Let me give you some faith talk. Begin to say this. Greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. Have you ever found yourself in a position where you're frustrated and you want that thing to happen or whatever that thing is, and you just knowing you determined to do that thing, but it seemed like everywhere you turn, everything you try, every obstacle, it just seems like everything is against you? Have you ever felt like that? Well, I'm giving you some faith talk. Greater is he that's within me than he that's in the world. Begin to put that on it. Say that. And over and over and over and over and over and over. And say it over and over and over again. That's just one. The second one. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. This is the second faith talk. This is the second one. We can go on and on and on. I can give you so many of these, guys, right? Number 3, I don't care what it looks like. God, you're more than enough. You are more than enough. That's number 3. Number 4, Lord, you said you would never leave me nor forsake me. Number 5, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. That's right. Believe it or not, you, my friend, are righteous. What? No, you're not righteous because you lived a perfect life. Sorry, Bob. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. You haven't lived a perfect life, and you never will. But guess what? Because of Jesus Christ and your acceptance of him, you are righteous. That's right. That's right. That's right. The little man or little woman next to you that's been living so perfect, and there you are, and you feel like you messed up from the floor up, but because you've asked to be forgiven, and because the word says it's thrown into the sea of forgetfulness, guess what? You receive the same glory and righteousness and favor as she does. Now, how you like that? See, that's what I'm talking about. That's all God. Don't thank me. That's all God. So, number 5, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. What's that mean? That means there you are in a situation praying for change. You want wisdom. You want understanding. The first part of displaying faith is you have got to repeat what the word says. And I just gave you 5 separate scriptures of what the word said. But it ain't limited to just 5. There's a whole bunch more that you've got to get yourself armed with so that you can speak back. Listen, when you're going through tough, difficult seasons in life, financially, spiritually, relationship-wise, work-wise, anxiety-wise, whatever it is, this is not the time for you to just be quiet. Oh, no, that's not the right thing to do. That's not the right thing to do. Why is that? Because the devil comes for your thought life first. The devil comes to attack your thoughts first. Is anybody listening to me? So this is the time for, the Bible says, to open your mouth and you must speak faith first. That's what you got to do first. So you got to get some of that faith talk in you. That, wait a minute. We talked about, we're on the word process, right? And we talked about everything happens in the fullness of time. I submit to you that it's now your time to start opening your mouth and begin to mature and speak back against the evil forces that are attacking you. That's what I believe. That's what I believe what time it really is. So when somebody say, hey, what time is it? Well, it's time for me to fight back. It's time for me to speak back. It's time for me. That's right. I know I didn't grow up in the church. I know my mama was Catholic and my daddy was Buddhist and this and that, and I don't really know. So what? Forget about all that. We said, how does faith work? Well, you got to speak it first. I said it's a 2-part answer. You got to speak it first. This is what God has instructed us to do. This is what God has instructed us to do on how to defeat that mountain. It says, go throw it in the sea. And if you will believe that it's gone, woo, you will have what you say. Woo! So number 1, you got to speak faith talk. We're talking about as you're going through your process. All right? That's number 1, first part of the answer. The second part of how to apply or how to display faith is you've got to work. That's right. You got to work. W-O-R-K. You've got to work. You got to move. You got to do something. No. Faith is an action word, baby. You can't just pray and don't work. You can't just speak it and don't move. You got to move. You got to do something. One of my favorite stories. one of my favorite stories in the Bible, one of them, was the story of the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. What? What's their name again? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. There they were against the great ruler. Long story short, great ruler said, if you don't stop serving that God, we're throwing you in the fire. And they looked at the ruler and said, okay, well, go on ahead and throw us in the fire. And the God I serve, he said he would never leave me nor forsake me. I'm sure he's going to meet me in the fire. Their confidence in their God was so certain that he said, throw us in the fire. And sure enough, the ruler did just that. They threw them all 3 in the fire, and all of a sudden, the ruler, he said, well, wait a minute. I threw 3 of them in there, but I see a 4th person, and it looks like the Son of Man. It looks like that's right. He threw them in the fire, and Jesus met them in the fire. They came out of the fire, all 3 of them, unscathed, unburned. Miracle. That's right. I said 2022 is the year of the miraculous to happen in your life. The miraculous will happen in my life this year. I'm telling you, it's happening right now. But you've got to, number one, speak faith. I remember Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they told the great ruler, they said, listen, even if our God does not save us in the fire, he's still able to. What? You understand what type of faith that is? He said, even if he don't do it, he's still able. I'm never going to speak against his power and what he can do. Even if he don't do it, he's still able. Oh, man, that gives me chills. That literally gives me chills. And why is that? Because his word does not lie. His word doesn't lie. And ladies and gentlemen, they threw him in the fire. And sure enough, because of his faith, because of his belief, God met them in the fire, and they came out unscathed, unharmed. No burns, no blemishes, nothing. Miracles. All because what God needs from you is your faith. What the devil needs from you is your fear. And so when we look at these 2 words, development process, we understand that everything must go through a process. And we also understand because of the complicated nature of the word process, it is possible for us to lose our faith, to lose our hope, to lose our strength. It is possible. It is possible. And that's why this call is brought to you, and the main goal and purpose from this call, on every call that we do, is for each of us to establish a relationship with God and to grow that relationship. Because I believe as you grow that relationship, your perspective will change. As your perspective will change, your results will change. Hello, anybody listening? That's the conclusion. As your perspective will change, your results will change. I'm not a motivational speaker, so if you're looking to get motivated, I'm sorry, I did a terrible job. That's not what this call was about, for me to get on here with pom-poms with a drum and start beating it. Fire them up, get them fired up. That's not what this call was about. That's not why I'm doing this call. But if you will establish a relationship and over the course of time grow that relationship, your perspective about many different topics, issues, situations in your life will change. You will become stronger. You will understand better. You will become more patient. You will walk with favor on your life in everything that you do. You will have to suffer some persecution where people will talk bad about you, throw stones at you, misunderstand you. All these things are going to happen to you. But I can tell you, like the song says, I know somebody that'll be closer to you than a brother, a mother, and a sister. I know someone that will never, ever forsake you, even on your darkest hour. And I want to encourage you to develop a relationship with someone that'll never lie, that'll never betray you, that'll always be for you. Someone that has a greater love for you, believe it or not, than you have for yourself. And all I can say, I'm not a perfect person. I'm not claiming to be. I'm just trying to be a little bit better. I make mistakes all the time, so I'm not on here trying to flex on anybody like I've made it. No. I'm still in the same fight that you are. But all I'm doing is I'm just sharing a few nuggets, a few tips. Like one of my mentors says, he says, I'm just a blind man giving you some tips. These are just some tips from the blind man. He said, it's your little red wagon. You can pull it or you can push it. It's up to you. Makes me no mind. Ladies and gentlemen, today's purpose was, again, to give you perspective about these two profound words, development process, so that we could give you a better perspective about what it means to develop and what the word process really, really entails. But the highlight of the call was, now that you understand that everything is going through a process, and sometimes the load does get heavy, but now you've been armed. There's only two things that you must do to display faith. And if you don't know, let me be the one to tell you that everything happens in the spiritual realm first, and then it manifests itself in the physical realm. That's the truth. These are the facts. So what we're saying is you have to learn how to fight back through faith. And faith is when you begin to speak what the word says. Yeah, your body may be tired, your mind may be angry, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nevertheless, you still open your mouth and put that scripture on it. Greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. I don't care how bad it looks. I said, greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world, right? You put that scripture on it, right? And then number two, you just said, greater is he that's within me than that's he that's in the world. Then if that's what you really believe, then when you sitting there and you at your property that you're visiting in Miami or whatever it is you're doing, and the lady says, well, sir, how will you be paying for this condominium that will be ready in 2026? How will you, how are you paying for this, sir? Are you financing this? How are you doing this, ma'am? I will be paying cash. Greater is he that's within me than he that's in the world. Again, faith is to speak it first, and then you got to do something. You got to work. Ma'am, I will be paying cash. Sir, I don't believe in debt. I don't believe in financing anymore. I don't believe in that. I believe in cash. Again, remember, development process. Everything has to go through the process. And in the fullness of time, you will be whole. You will mature. You will speak like a giant. You will speak like a queen. You will speak with conviction and authority, even though all hell may be breaking loose around you. You have finally grown to the place of maturity in this lifetime that you have come to the understanding that the world at large may never, ever be at peace. But because of your growth, we're talking about your process, you have learned that you now have peace within you. And when you have peace within you, all hell can be breaking loose around you. But because you have peace within you, you have finally learned and mastered the art of how to defeat the enemy. The inner voices that negatively come up in your head to try and steal, kill, and destroy all good things that you intended to do. When you've developed how to apply and display faith, speak it, and you got to work it. Speak it, and you got to work it. Speak it, and you got to work it. You will begin to manifest miracles upon miracles upon miracles in your lifetime. And how do we know that you, my friend, will produce miracles? Because the scripture tells us we shall see signs and wonders of the miraculous works that have been done in you, through you, and for you. Ladies and gentlemen, my God, I'm the California Kid. As they say, good night for now. We'll see you next week. I love you guys, everybody. Goodbye, and we'll see you guys all next week. Goodbye, everybody.